Before we start, I want to take a few seconds to discuss the recent news. If you somehow don't know, just recently Technoblade passed away from cancer. He's had it for the last few months, and he's been fighting hard to beat it, but unfortunately cancer got the best of him. I was going to make a separate video on this, but if I have to be honest, I never actually watched Techno's videos, so I can't say I feel the same connection towards him that others do, and because of that I feel like the only reason for me to make a video on him would be to get recognized by the YouTube algorithm. And there's no way in hell that I'm going to try and get attention off of someone's death. That's just wrong. However, I do want to bring it up because I know that many people look up to him and support him. I know the impact he's created on the Minecraft community, and I know he's the only person who's being dreamed in the 1v1. So seeing him pass away like this is very heartbreaking. And what makes me really upset about it is the fact that it was cancer. Cancer is pretty much the boogeyman of diseases, and I feel like only innocent people ever die from it, some of which include people I knew. And what's even worse is that there's so many children who have died from cancer. Like, come on, they have so much to live for. Is it so wrong to let them live a happy life? Overall, cancer fucking sucks. I hate it with all my heart. Anytime I hear someone die of cancer, regardless of who it is or how well I know them, I can't help but feel grief. And Technoblade is no exception to this. So yeah, rest in peace Techno. I hope for the best for his family, and my heart goes out to all his fans who have watched him all these years. Even though I never watched him, I do know the saying that exists, Technoblade never dies, and as long as we never forget him, that will always be true. All that being said, let's carry on with the video. So in my previous video, I talked about the new chat reporting system and how it may possibly kill Minecraft as we know it. Well, the update that added 1.19.1 was supposed to come out on Tuesday, June 28th, but because of all the backlash, the update has been delayed. But it wasn't until Thursday of the same week when we got an update on the situation. I was actually expecting that Mojang were going to remove the chat reporting, but unfortunately we haven't reached that point yet. Instead, Mojang released an article where they try to clarify certain things about the chat reporting system. I'll leave a link to the full article in the description, but basically they say that you won't get banned for swear words, only if you say anything related to hate speech, like anything that's directed towards race, sex, sexuality, etc. They also try to guarantee that nobody will get unfairly banned. There is also another article where they go even deeper, and I'll mention some of the things from it here. The first paragraph has this quote: "Without human moderation, online communities can become unwelcoming, toxic, or in some cases, dangerous to the security of individual players. We need to provide safeguards that will help keep all our players safe and welcomed in the online environments where they play Minecraft." I get what's being said here, but it's not like we don't already have server moderators that do this. They do also try to say that not all servers have good moderation or don't have the means of resolving a conflict, and that there are some people who will abuse others in servers. And that is obviously a problem, but you can't just solve a problem like that with a simple solution like this. It gives off the same energy as how YouTube removed the dislike count because of some people who were possibly attacked by dislike bots or spam. Like, obviously that sucks, but removing dislikes isn't just punishing the people who do stuff like that, it's also punishing people who use them for feedback. This is no different. Adding a chat reporting system isn't just punishing bad people who hurt others, it's basically punishing every player who plays on servers, especially the owners. There are a few other things they mention as well, like how they won't ban people who are talking about suicide, and this I highly doubt. I mentioned in my last video they will also get banned from single player, but the article states that won't happen, and if that turns out to be true, that at least makes the situation less bad. They also state you won't get banned if a lot of people are reporting you, and this is also something I'm not sure of. Overall, it's not necessarily that I don't trust Mojang. I always appreciate that they're trying to shed light on this, and like I said in my last video, I don't blame Mojang for this feature at all. I blame Microsoft. But there have been times where some of the Mojang devs and employees have said or at least implied something that would happen, but then half the time they end up not keeping their word. I mentioned some examples of this, but there is one thing I haven't talked about, and this thing specifically is why I don't trust how the chat reporting will be handled, and that's the feedback websites. If you don't know, the feedback website is a place where you can share ideas for Minecraft, whether it be new features or changes to old features. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Well, it was for a while, but in the last few years, the feedback website has gone downhill. Many people, myself included, have shared lots of ideas on feedback, and almost every time an idea gets shared, it gets removed. At first, when I had ideas get removed, I would get an email saying so, and a few times they would give me an actual reason why, but most of the time they just sent a generic message listing a bunch of possible reasons and not actually saying why the idea was removed, and eventually they stopped sending emails and would just remove the idea without any word. The feedback website is supposed to be a place where you can share ideas, but what's the point if the ideas are just blatantly being removed? It's really stupid, and seeing how the moderators poorly handle the feedback website is exactly why I can't trust them with the chat reporting. It's possible they might do a good job at first since Mojang is very aware how worried we all are, but they're probably gonna get lazy after enough time and start unfairly banning people one after another. It's just inevitable. Along with the article, there was also a new pre-release for 1.19.1, and I was at least hoping they would try to improve the chat reporting system, and they kinda did, but not in the way I was hoping. Once again, going back to my last video, I mentioned that there's a mod you can use to remove chat reporting so you don't have to worry about being banned. However, in this new pre-release, Mojang can now detect when someone is tampering with chat reporting, so the use of mods is now a risk and is no longer meaningful. Overall, if Mojang were really the ones responsible for this, they would have removed this feature the second people started complaining, but for some reason, Microsoft wants us to suffer and they're forcing Mojang to serve us this disgusting feature. Mojang are basically the waiters in the restaurant in this scenario. They're the ones serving the food to the customers, and they're the ones being told that the food sucks. Now that I think about it, it feels like this is something that was slowly being built up towards. Social interactions were first added a few updates ago, and around last year was when account migration first began. I really didn't want to think that there would be any consequences to Microsoft buying Mojang, but here we are, in quite possibly the darkest time in Minecraft's history, even darker than 2016. I'll always appreciate the developers of Mojang who work on Minecraft, and I can't imagine they want this either, but they probably don't want to speak out with the fear of losing their jobs. Right now as I'm making this video, 1.19.1 has no set release date, and currently that's the most amount of hope we have right now, because it could mean that Mojang is trying to fight against this feature, or I'm just way too optimistic. But currently things are still uncertain, and I still think it's possible that we can get the good ending to this story, but who knows. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. If you want to see more stuff from me, I would ask if you take a second to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I'll also leave a link to the feedback page for the newest pre-release where you can share your voice and help fight this feature. Okay, you can leave now.